No. I'm not Friday.
All right. It is Friday, January 22nd, 7:39 p.m.
January's almost over, dude.
That's what my dad's saying.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What the fuck? This month has been so weird.
Yeah, it has been. Yeah.
It's crazy that it's even elapsed.
We began the new year together.
Yet again.
Again. Yeah, second one. Yeah, it's been a wild ride.
What a trip.
Yeah. Last clip we made was from that KOA.
Yeah.
And since then, much has transpired.
Yes.
We're currently in Orlando, Winter Park. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we should go chronologically to make this make sense.
Yeah.
We woke up at the KOA after the last clip and packed up our stuff, took our time, because we had to kill a lot of time in order to get to the train station for the train at like 2:30. Thank you.
It has a weird shadow on your face.
Is it scary?
Yeah. It's like half of your face is in the light and half isn't.
Yin yang. But yeah, we went to McDonald's after we packed up all our stuff.
Again, for the fourth time, shout out to McDonald's in Okeechobee.
Yeah, man.
Best breakfast in town.
I've got the order memorized. 4 egg and cheese McMuffins with no Canadian bacon, a cinnamon roll, 2 hash browns, a French vanilla latte medium, and then a medium cup of coffee with a shot of espresso. Or as they say around here, espresso. Espresso.
That is long behind us.
Yeah, not really.
But not really. That was like 2 mornings ago, which is crazy.
Wasn't that just yesterday? Or no, it was
No,
it was 2 mornings. Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, we went there, and then
went to the Walmart
we
from
went
there.
To the Walmart.
Got some beers, got some Subway, got some hair cutting devices, scissors, comb, etc.
Not just for head hairs.
Nope.
Poobs.
But yeah, that was the farthest north we had ever gone in Okeechobee, to that Walmart.
Yeah.
But then at that point we went even farther.
2 miles.
Yeah.
Approximately.
It was fun.
It was.
We got to the train station. We drank about 2 beers each. I had 3, but rounding it goes down to 2.
Mm-hmm.
And that was fun. We did an Instagram live, very successful. And
there was no one else at the station. So
no, for a while.
We kind of felt like it was our land, so it was fun. Made some memes.
Made some Bernie memes.
Check them out on the IG.
Check them out on the gram. Follow me on the gram. And then got on the train around 2:30.
Yeah.
And
pretty uneventful train ride.
Yeah, we did
start. It was long.
It was long. It was just on the cusp of being too long.
Too long, like uncomfortably long.
Yeah, my legs.
I'm glad we didn't have to wake up ass early.
Yeah.
And go to the train station, or be on the train ass late, because that would have been really uncomfortable. It was already pretty uncomfortable by the end.
It was perfectly.
We were sitting for 4.5 hours.
Yeah, it was in the ass middle.
Yeah.
Which was perfectly fine.
The crack.
The crack. Yeah. We watched Final Destination, or at least most of it.
Great movie. 10 out of 10. Would recommend. Not predictable at all.
Oops, she's mad. And then got picked up by a family friend, Eddie Pipkin. Shout out to the Pipkins, specifically Eddie. And went back to his house and chatted with he and his wife for a bit. And they lent us their PT Cruiser.
Yeah.
Which we've been cruising around in ever since.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, very crazy.
Overwhelming generosity. I was surprised by that, but also not really, because they definitely have a vibe that my parents do, I think, where it's just oh yeah, whatever, do whatever you want, it doesn't matter, we're happy to host you, let us know when you'll be around. Yeah. And I'm comfortable with that, but also it's someone that I don't know, so...
Yeah, I'm less comfortable with that. That's, I've said already a couple times, but I'm more of a person who extends that kind of generosity, but I don't really accept it well. I just feel that it's not my place, because I feel extra privileged. I feel like I'm the one who should be doling it out, not giving it, or getting it. But, you know, I'm not going to turn down that kind of kindness. So
Yeah.
he
saved us not only an Uber from the train station to the Airbnb, but also a rental car.
Yeah, we
in
would have had
general.
to do what we did today.
Yeah. Because we went all around today.
All around.
We got the Orlando tour.
Yeah, y'all.
Tour.
We came back here to our Airbnb, which is definitely 3 out of 10 stars, or 1 out of 5, depending.
2 out of 5.
2 out of 5.
Max.
That's being generous because we don't want
Yeah.
to hurt this guy's reputation. But yeah, there's like no hot water in the shower. The bathroom's extremely small. There's no kitchen like appliances.
The only thing that's saving this place is the fact that there's no bugs crawling around.
But
We didn't have any weird bites waking up this morning.
Yeah.
There's no cockroaches on the counter, but
it's
if
close.
there were, that would be totally on par to how this place is designed and set up, and yeah.
Yeah, even now we're sitting outside,
To
which
avoid
is,
being inside.
yeah, it's kind of just dank and dingy.
We did yoga today on the carpet, and
Yeah.
we just found so many things that we didn't want to see. It was so gross.
Yeah.
But fortunately, I feel like we're not saying any of this as a complaint. We're just laying it out
Yeah.
as to where we are, because our standards are so low.
It's-
We have
yeah.
a place to be tonight. We have a shower, we have a bed, we have a microwave, we have food,
Yeah.
we have beer, so we're not complaining in any way.
Could be worse.
Many people would be
Yeah,
if they were in this Airbnb.
for sure. We could name them, but we won't. But yeah, so we got in last night and did the basic things, like, you know, experimenting with the shower, and we did have to do a late night Taco Bell run just to make sure that we weren't too hungry for the morning. But yeah, it was a good night. It was a good morning.
Yeah.
So today's Friday, and so this is where today picks up. We woke up pretty early, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Had a good morning, and then went to breakfast at First Watch.
First Watch.
We walked there, which was nice.
I don't know where else the chains are, but it's a bomb-ass breakfast place.
It was pretty good, yeah.
Breakfast and brunch.
We still have some leftovers, which
Yeah.
I'll be having for dessert tonight. And yeah, after that, walked back after going to Sprouts for our dinner resupply, and we went to REI in the PT Cruiser, and it turned out that our bikes had already been delivered to the store, and we talked to a great mechanic, Chris. Shout out to Chris. And he was able to prioritize building our bikes, and so he set to work building them after we explained what was going on and what we needed and wanted, and then we went to Gatorlands.
And well, we bought a lot of accessories.
We did buy a lot of
for
accessories
the bikes too.
Yeah, you were like $150. I was like $300.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, I already have the panniers. So I think that was the biggest cost for you, probably.
That was $160 of it. Yeah.
Damn, really?
Yeah, those were both
$80 each.
They were 90.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Which
they're
is why I'm very happy that your parents had sent the box of bags and stuff. That really saved us a lot of money too. Because if we
Yeah.
had to buy everything, that would be
a lot
a
of
lot
money.
more.
$600. Shout out
Yeah,
to my dad
at least.
and my mom for
Shipping that box.
yeah, moral support.
I just shipped my box.
And yeah, the box got here today at Eddie Pipkin's house, and so we will be able to tomorrow go over to his house and start setting up the bikes proper to see how well we can actually get all of our stuff from our backpacks into the bags and everything that we got. And the bikes are great, though.
They're awesome.
Yeah, we're both.
It was so cool rolling them out of the store.
Yeah.
And just complete ownership. These are our bikes. We bought them outright, and it's just these dope ass mountain bikes. I love mine. I love the color.
Yeah.
I haven't tried it yet, actually riding it, but
Yeah.
I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, it is definitely fine.
But it's a mountain bike, and that's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm so excited.
27.5-inch wheels, so that's a new thing for me. Hydraulic disc brakes, which is really cool.
What are the shifters called?
Trigger shifters.
Trigger shifters.
Yeah,
I'm
they're-
interested to try those out because I don't think I have.
They're pretty easy.
Yeah. Intuitive.
It's a decent drivetrain. It's turny, so it's like Shimano's very low end. But we have 3x7, so we have 21 gears, which is one more gear than what we had on the Transamerica bike ride, but the gear spread and the gear ratios are way lower.
Yeah.
So
Which is good, because we're
Yeah.
probably going to be handling, like, trail terrain.
Yeah.
Like rocks and roots and mud
gravel,
and shit.
etc.
Yeah.
Yeah. It will be. They're
But
going to be great
they
bikes.
really feel like totally capable bikes
Yeah.
to handle whatever comes our way.
For sure.
It's going to be flat either way, so
Yeah.
it's going to be fine.
It's going to
but-
be easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm excited
Mhm.
not to bike on roads all the time, to just like, oh, the trail turns here and turn off to the left and go into the fucking woods. That's sick.
on a levee or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. The levees
And we're
will
going to
be
be
a
going
joy.
so fast.
Yeah, like 10 miles an hour
At
instead
least,
of 3.
Yeah.
So that's going to help a lot with the water situation and the camping situation and the food situation.
Yeah.
We just won't have to carry as much, but we'll have everything that we need.
Yeah.
So,
In the words of Curtis Wise, we're prioritizing enjoyment over accomplishment.
yeah, we have failed and we're comfortable about it.
Yeah, no, we're happy about it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
I mean,
this is what works best for us,
Mhm.
personally.
We
And-
still have the bulk of the whole experience in front of us. And
Yeah.
if we get to Pensacola and we don't want to keep going, we could totally bike that Alabama
Yeah.
road walk.
For sure. I mean, it's classified as a road walk,
Yeah.
so it's pavement and gravel the whole way.
Yeah.
200 miles would be nothing.
And
That's
again-
like less than a week.
If we bike up to Birmingham, it's like a 2 or 3 hour train ride back to Atlanta.
Yeah.
And then we could bike to my parents' house.
Yeah.
So those are possibilities. It'd be
Depending on the weather.
yeah,
I've
yeah.
seen that it's very cold and rainy
Cold
in
and
northern
rainy.
Alabama, and
That's-
that would really suck.
That would really suck. That's the easiest for you, though.
Yeah.
Um,
But that's long term. As far as today, we
Gatorland.
got the bikes, we went to Gatorland.
Yeah, and I think you really enjoyed
It
it.
was mind blowing.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we've seen a lot of alligators out here in the wild, but seeing
Nothing
them...
compared to what was there.
No, and it was kind
insane.
of... It was terrifying a
It
little
was
bit.
terrifying. Yeah.
We saw several alligators that were over 10 feet long and over 1,000 pounds
Yeah.
apiece. I mean...
And even the small ones, like if that came up and bit your hand
yeah,
when you were filtering water, like that would end you. There's
yeah.
no option. Like,
yeah. Cauterize it with your stove.
They're dinosaurs. They're like survivors. They're primal.
We
They're
saw so many
insane.
alligators without limbs. Like they
Yeah.
were missing hands or
'Cause
arms.
I think they fought each other.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
They
why
just
not?
like did the death roll in the water and ripped
Yep.
each other's hands off.
Yeah.
There's like a hierarchy. They're like chickens.
Yeah, they
There's
are.
like a pecking order.
There is. Yeah,
We
you could
watched
see
that
it.
today,
Yeah, you
yeah.
could definitely see it.
There was people like feeding them. You could like buy a little packet of who even knows what
Gator.
was in those little.
I
gator
actually do know.
bites.
So it was like a compressed nugget, and it was made of like 20 different things, and it was all just like, I don't even know, cast-offs from manufacturers of other meat items.
Dog food factories.
Yeah,
No doubt.
but some of the things that those meat
Glue
those,
factories.
Yeah, I mean, they had primate parts, they had insectivore parts, they had cattle. I mean, the things that were compressed into these nuggets were disgusting to think about, just because there were so many different types of animals just in this little hollow, like lightweight wafer.
nugget.
It was gross, but
But we
Gators
didn't
loved
buy
it.
them. We only
No.
paid for the admission, which was more than worth it. But
Yeah.
there were so many like bullshit packages of like, do the zip line, do the swamp buggy, do
Yeah.
all this shit. It was an amusement park.
it
Either
was.
way,
Yeah, it's the best amusement park in the area.
I was and the most ethical.
Yeah.
Like I did not want to go to SeaWorld.
Mhm.
I've seen Blackfish, and that's a very compelling documentary on Netflix that I would highly recommend to anyone. So SeaWorld was off the list. We don't want to go to Disney. We don't want to
No.
go to Orlando. We're not those type of people. But this was really a satisfying experience. Like
Gatorland's the
they
best.
were just like displaying these reptiles that have no emotion and have no like sense of captivity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're just living their best life.
Yeah,
so,
wherever they are is where they are.
yeah.
We saw Nile crocodiles. We saw saltwater
Yeah.
alligators.
Insane.
All of them huge. Just
Snakes,
yeah.
birds,
tons of birds, flamingos.
some mammals. They did have the Florida panther.
Yeah, they had two
which
Florida
was
panthers.
Insane
That thing was
because they're
huge.
so rare and
Yeah.
they're so like elusive and dangerous animals that
Mhm.
are on the brink of extinction. So that was really amazing to see.
The brink of ink.
And then the fucking snakes that all could have killed us in the
Yeah.
swamp, and
Yeah.
we're like, oh, that's what that looks like.
Right.
We didn't even know.
Didn't even know what a water moccasin was until we saw it in Gatorland. Yeah.
But so many times we were walking on these like boardwalks, and I was like, dude, imagine if we saw that swimming up to us in the swamp.
Yeah.
It would have been like
The end.
the end.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we're on the other side of Big Cypress, so we can look at this and be like, "Damn, that could have been there."
Yeah.
But honestly, if I went to Gatorland before we went to the swamps, I don't know if I would have did it.
And
Because-
I have gone to Gatorland several times before the swamps, and I did do it. So I hope you would have
Props to you.
too. Well, I just
It was terrifying.
yeah, but
Colossal dinosaurs. That
they're
just,
so
like,
docile though.
They are, and from our experience, like, they're scared of us, and the only reason they grow to that size is because they avoid humans, which are the main predator. They have no natural predators
Mhm.
besides humans,
Mhm.
so, like, seeing them at that weight, at that size, like, they're bred and raised in captivity, and they're well fed and stuff, but
Mhm.
alligators in the wild, like, they avoid us at all
Yeah.
costs, and we saw that on the canals. Like,
Yeah.
as soon as we walked past, they were down in the water,
Yeah.
even if they were like working on their 4-hour sunbathing routine. Like, they didn't give a shit. They just wanted to get away
Yeah,
from
we'd
us,
be like
so.
20 feet away, and they would dive into
Yeah.
the water. We'd hear a scuttling and
Yeah.
splashing, and
But it
they'd
was
be gone.
crazy to
Yeah.
see all of them, and those are not afraid of humans because obviously they're practically in a zoo, so they see humans and traffic every day, and there's boardwalks built around their enclosures. But it was so crazy.
Yeah, and
I really enjoyed that. That was insane.
yeah, yeah. The whole time I'm there too, I'm thinking like this Harmontown episode where Spencer Crittenden talks about how like there's like this death instinct which Freud talked about, and it's just that desire. Like when you see a police officer, like you could grab his gun. When you're on top of a building, you could throw yourself off, and similarly, when you're in Gatorland, you could just climb these small little fences and then jump into the water. And there are instances of people, like I remember some Indian guy in a zoo in India, like he jumped the gates and jumped into like a tiger pen, and he just wanted to die. And
Damn.
I mean, you could so easily do that at Gatorland.
Yeah.
It's so many different stops.
Yeah, if
And-
you had a fucking death wish.
Yeah, I mean, I think,
I mean, that's what you have to have in order to do that, because
yeah,
there's no, like, wildlife encounter that would have you come out on the other side alive and well.
yeah, this
with
one,
those dinosaurs.
absolutely. I mean, there's like hundreds, thousands of gators today, and the death wish, the morbid curiosity is like it's sort of like the human cells have this thing called apoptosis, where like it's like your body's natural ability to fend off cancer, and so like when cells begin to divide uncontrollably, they will go through apoptosis, which is called cellular suicide. And I think in a macro level, going from the very small to the very big, that death instinct is maintained through humans as well. And not all people access it and everything.
What is the death instinct? Like the desire to experience death?
It's
Or like
it's
the
suicidal.
knowledge that you can?
Yeah, it's like a suicidal tendency, or like a suicidal ideation, or anyone who has ever cut themselves, or like wanted to get closer to death, or
Yeah.
people who inflict self-harm.
Yeah.
Like those people should probably not go to Gatorland, because there's just so many places you could just cast your body into the water, and water is like 2 or 3 feet deep. And I think the splashing of your flailed limbs and everything as you got up from having thrown yourself in, would just be inundated with hundreds of alligators just so ready to eat you, and they would death roll you, and you'd be a torso with no limbs in a matter of seconds.
And what quality of life do we have there if we come across a person that has no limbs?
Yeah, exactly.
The Office.
But yeah, the whole time I was out there, I was just like, what is stopping people from just throwing themselves into this water? You just
They're
jump.
tourists. They drove there in their Land Rover.
Yeah.
They have their kids and they have their strollers.
But statistically speaking, in terms of again, suicidal ideation. I feel like there has to have been.
Maybe that's like very dramatic. Like,
yeah, but how many signs do we see? Those signs about like, do not enter, or you will inflict yourself with severe harm and or death. I mean, it's crazy that people that we don't have to sign a waiver to go into that park.
I thought that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even like the fucking boardwalk that we went on, they're like, be careful, this is a real swamp. There could be like pygmy rattlesnakes or copperheads anywhere on this path. Like,
don't pick them up.
Enter at your own risk.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, we just paid money to get in here. We didn't sign anything.
Yeah.
There's got to be some type of like insurance that part has to.
It's got to be insane.
I don't know.
The boardwalk that we went on through the swamp too was just like Big Cypress, except Big Cypress was no boardwalk.
except we walked on dry land the entire way through it, but instead of wading through the 2.5 foot deep water.
Yeah.
Which was crazy. And it is crazy. I think it's a really cool thing that we have had that experience and know what it is like on the other side instead of just like when we were with my parents in the Everglades and we were like, wow, we're gonna be like walking through this, like we had no idea of what that experience was actually gonna be like. But then going to Gatorland today and walking on those boardwalks, we know exactly what that experience is like. And it's terrifying and insane, and we've done it already, and now we can have the privilege of enjoying the experience without that.
we can be on dry land the whole time, and we can go at least 12 miles an hour, which is 4 times faster than what we could hope for on the bike. So our days can be 4 times longer. So if we're doing a 20-mile day, it could be 80 miles instead, and we could put in the same amount of effort. So I'm really excited to get our bikes together because it's really going to just accelerate the ability for us to do this trail in a happy manner.
And we have a really sweet setup. I feel like our bikes are going to look so dope.
Yeah, we'll have some pictures
tomorrow
for sure.
Or the next day.
Yeah, tomorrow will be good.
I'm so excited to put them together.
Yeah, and I was kind of testing out the bike that the guy Chris had built at REI for us, and mine at least felt pretty good. The gear shifted smoothly. The brakes felt like they had been reasonably bedded in. The headset was tight. The quick release skewers were done properly. He did a good job.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's been there probably for 4 or 5 years at least.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. We're sitting on a field of victory yet again, and that brings me to another point that I was hoping to talk about, which is God. And Allie was saying when we got back we went out and we filled up the PT Cruiser so that we could bring it back with a full tank of gas. And Allie was like, yet again, another instance of us getting back safe and sound with no incident. And we'll continue to have that luck. And I don't like to challenge or chance the universe like that. So, what do you have to say?
Well, my point and question that I was talking about earlier is the fact that you talk about the universe, quote, unquote, as if it were this deity, this being that has control over our lives, and we're just pawns in its, like...
web,
like, design of fate and karma and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you believe in God. You believe in some sort of deity that is in control of our lives.
I believe in a karmic balance. I don't believe in a God.
But do you really think that us, like, verbally saying things like, oh, we'll be fine, and we don't have to worry about it, and, like, we've been fine so far, so why worry about the future?
Well...
You really take that to heart, and you're like, you need to knock on some wood, you need to, like...
You need to show some respect.
What? To God? To the universe?
To just the... I mean, I... hope for the best and I expect the worst. I mean, I just feel like when it comes to that kind of thing, you have to show some deference to the fact that we will...
So you think we're not in control of our lives and our destiny and our fate?
No. I definitely don't.
Do you think it's been, like, predestined for us, or do you think it's, like, ours to create?
I think it's predestined, for sure.
By who?
No one. Just mathematical...
Well, how can that be possible?
Because of physical laws. I mean, you think about Something I've actually been thinking about recently is how, like, interestingly weak the human body is to the environment. So if you want to think about it just in the perspective of hot and cold and comfort, like with us, like, we can't even exist in environments that are too chilly or too hot. Like, we don't even have the ability to overcome our environment that much. And we are part
we can adapt to it. We can make personal choices that make us more comfortable and survivable in conditions.
Right.
That has been proved by the Native Americans time and time again.
We can try our best. Yeah. But at the end of the day, if there's a 3-day cold snap and
it kills all your vegetables.
Yeah, I mean, we're at the mercy of our environment. Yeah. And we have definitely adapted the environment, and through things like houses and 20-degree sleeping bags and stuff like that, we've done our best to try to conquer the elements. But at the end of the day, a human in nature is not well equipped to actually survive. And
the 21st century human, for sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, any
the
human.
Millennial,
I don't
the
think
Gen Z.
even Native Americans wouldn't have necessarily done well without, like, some severe combat with the natural elements.
It's like generations. It's periods of time. It's hundreds of years that people have, like, worked to adapt, and there has been unfortunate circumstances where their infants have died, and like,
well, it's just interesting that we can't escape that.
Yeah.
So the corporeal body,
but us personally, like, we're such an advantage monetarily and circumstantially, like, we're so privileged.
Yeah,
so what
but
is
we're
there
still
to
so
worry
weak
about besides freak accidents?
Well, freak accidents happen.
They do. And we subject ourselves to that a lot, being out in nature as much as we do, and, like, being in these fucking cities that are...
Even just sun exposure.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows what we've done to our bodies in the past 2 years, what that will equivalent to in 40 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
but that's, like, generational. That's just the pattern of life. Like, it's hard to divorce that from the personal human experience that we individually experience in our lives.
You can't. It's set and setting. It's not just for hallucinogenic drugs. It's you can't have an actor without a background.
Yeah.
And so there is no escape from what we put ourselves through. It's an integral part of the whole human experience.
Yeah.
The places that you are, the things you put your body, your corporeal form. It's just like...
But I'm talking about us personally. Like, we live, like, what, 60 to 80 years.
Yeah.
Depending on your personal life choices and your health.
Vaping, etc.
And, like, we are at a position where we are privileged, we are taken care of, we have access to good food, clean water, proper sanitation, like... Besides freak accidents, I don't see how saying something like, oh, we've done well so far, what can go wrong, can, like, affect anything whatsoever.
I think nature...
If the universe is so expansive and so, like, wide and vast as you perceive it to be or understand it to be through science, like, how can saying something like that verbally, literally just like vocal cords and air into the sky, how can that affect whatsoever what we're experiencing and what will happen in our future? Because
it's a attitude, it's a butterfly effect. It's like if you get too arrogant about your ability to...
I think that I understand what you're saying, but, like, saying, like, you get too arrogant, like you buy a really fast car or a fast motorcycle and you drive on the highway at 110 miles an hour, like, yeah, you're asking for it.
That's
like,
exacerbating
that's crazy.
it. But also, I mean, in a different fashion, we're asking for it too.
Like, in our life choices?
Yeah, I mean...
In our willingness to be subject
walking on roads, walking in swamps, I mean...
Biking on roads.
I feel like there's so little in our actual control, and then if you start to have the attitude that, like, you're sort of above it, or, like, walking on some, like, air, where you're like, nothing can harm me. Everyone, like all the old people, like that guy who we talked to at the KOA who was like, you think you're invincible. Like, you remember saying that?
Mm-hmm.
And I was
Yeah.
like, no, I don't. I've never thought that. I've always thought that I'm going to die. I've always thought that death is going to be a very painful process that's going to catch me when I least want it, when I least expect it. And I feel like that's a healthier attitude to approach life, that the death is just right around the corner.
Is it healthy though, or are we just animals in this cycle that are like obviously pointing us towards death, and it doesn't matter what decisions we make and what like life choices we decide in our lives, like whatever happens is gonna happen.
Yeah, I agree.
You can't change it, so
Yeah.
why not just like enjoy what you have now
I
to
just-
the fullest?
I don't want to be viewing those alligator jaws coming at me and then being like, oh, I shouldn't have X, Y, or Z. Like,
But
you know,
that's like predestination. That's like
I believe in that.
Christianity.
It's not necessarily Christianity.
That's believing that some power has already decided your fate, and there's nothing you can do to change it. And
I think to a large degree it has, just in the same way that like objects in motion tend to stay in motion. It's like we're doing all these things. I mean, you've never seen Donnie Darko, but
no,
I mean, there's just like there's a certain sense of like action and reaction and action and consequence, and you put yourself in situations and things can only turn out a certain way. And so that's why when you talk to me about like regretting things, like I don't really tend to regret, because I really feel like I have internalized this feeling of like fate, where like things happen the way they do because there is no other way. I don't really believe in free will, and I've done not a lot of research, but I've listened to at least one audiobook by this guy named Sam Harris about how free will doesn't exist. And like he goes into like the neuroscience of it, and then also like the Buddhistic like philosophy of it, where like you can like hook people up to not EKGs but EEGs maybe, electroencephalogetic grams or something, some sort of brainwave, and like they can. It's very rudimentary right now. You could pour that into the cup if you want.
No. It's good wax.
It's good wax. Oh, oops. Too good. It poured out. But I just feel like, every action has a reaction and a consequence.
Every action has equal opposite reaction.
Yeah, and that's true. And so I really don't think that humans are that much in control of what happens any more than any other. Yeah.
They're not, and I definitely agree with that.
I need another beer. One more.
But
Do you want one?
no, I'm good.
All
You
right.
should have the blue moon so we finish them if you want.
There's no more.
I thought there were... Oh, I guess that was the last one. Oops. We're drinking, y'all. We're having deep conversations. Long pause ensues.
I should close that.
I don't know though, like the whole concept of free will and predestination are Christian concepts.
That's not true.
In my mind,
Okay.
of what I've experienced in my life and my like teachings in theology and so on. Like those are Christian concepts that either God is in control of your life and has already decided it all, or you are in control of your life and you decide these things that ultimately lead you to your demise, which is what all humans are bound for. And maybe it's because of my background and my experience in the Christian church where I only understand those two concepts as God or human. But I feel like there has to be some sort of deity or overarching like
Puppet master.
yeah, someone who is in control of it all. Be
No.
it God, be it the universe, be it Jesus, be it Buddha, be it
I don't think it
Allah.
needs that.
like So it's just science?
Yeah.
To you?
It's just like...
it is, but we're part of, like, fucking 7 billion other humans that are experiencing the same thing. So who's to say that that freak accident is going to happen to us? Like,
well,
I mean,
something
it's
will eventually happen.
Totally by chance only. And, like, I don't think there's any consequence in verbally saying things.
I don't think there is.
Quote unquote challenging the universe.
I mean, I don't think there necessarily is either.
I don't think it's going to come back with a vengeance and be like, ooh, you said this, and now it's your time to die a painful death. Like, it's totally based on experience, and it's based on life choices, and, like, we have the capacity to take care of our physical bodies so that we live to a long and healthy and satisfying age, which is approximately 60 to 80 years old in America. So, I don't know. I don't see any consequence in that. And maybe that's me entering into a new form of thought as far as religion and, like, life experience, like, interpreting my life experience, but
I just don't like to tempt fate.
Well, yeah, I get that. It is like a pretty, what's the word? Rebellious thing to say and position to be in. But I'm 22.
Yeah.
The world is mine. I'm so young. I have my whole life ahead of me. I'm healthy. I'm privileged. I'm white. I live in America.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
It's me against the world, and I think I'm going to win.
You will until you don't.
Yeah.
On a long enough
But
timeline.
I don't think it's fair to have caution. Not that it's not fair. It's not, like, in my sense of logic to believe that I am subject to that at this point, because I am young and healthy.
Yeah,
and
I guess you just don't realize yet that is a transitory phase that you don't get to hold on to.
No, I know that it is, but I don't think that wasting it worrying about death and pain and suffering, I don't think that's worth it right now.
Yeah,
because I'm
true.
having fun. I'm like fucking doing the Florida Trail, and I'm going to Gatorland, and I'm seeing these things that could kill me, and I'm just like, I'm more evolved than you, and you can't touch me.
Yeah.
Not that I don't think I embody that feeling,
no, you don't.
or that, like, mindset, because I feel like I'm humble enough and I'm gracious enough to be kind to those around me and to understand those experiences that other people are having. But yeah, I just think that we should all be happy, and we should make love, not war, and we should just, like, I don't know. Life is good, so you should enjoy it. Yeah. Especially if you have the position of privilege that we're expounding on. Like, yeah, it's not that bad.
And all God's people said, amen. Yeah, I mean, it's just different. We're coming from different points, you know.
Oh, I think that's more of, like, the core of who we are. Like, the fact that you have thought about death since a very young age, and I have never, like, seen someone die or been around a dead person, aside from, like, great aunts and uncles in my past that I was very young and don't remember.
You didn't, like, take it personally. Yeah.
No. Like, the people that I love are alive, and they're doing well, and they're thriving.
Right.
And I feed off of that energy, and I'm just like, I can do the same, and we're all just going to be, like, really happy for this tiny, tiny blip in the span of the universe. But in the end, if it doesn't matter, then at least I was happy now. Yeah. Which I am. And I'm going to, like, live in that.
You know, this great philosopher, Therese Hobson, said famously, you know, if you worry, you die. If you don't worry, you die. So why worry? But, I mean...
Therese?
Yeah, Therese. I mean, I'm 31 now, and you're 22, and you have only started just now seeing your friends getting married, seeing your friends having babies, and the next stage is your grandparents dying.
Yeah.
That's the next stage, and then your parents die after that, and then you're on the top of the totem pole.
That's never going to happen.
Well,
I don't believe it.
all right. You don't have to. It doesn't require your belief in order for it to occur, which is just what nature is. It's cruel. It's indifferent. It's totally capricious. You know, people live and die every day. We saw someone die when we were with your parents on the fucking vacation. We were having a great time, and someone else drowned and most likely died. And we were there when they died. And, you know, it's just, for me, flabbergasting to imagine, you know, waking up one day saying, hey, I'm going to go to the springs with my friends.
My truck to the springs with my friends, and I'm going to dive down in this deep hole.
Yeah, and I'm going to get stuck, I'm going to get lost, I'm going to get confused, and I'm going to drown. And, you know, it's just, like, that's the thing, it's like the ultimate, I don't know, like, life is a casino, you know? And everyone is gambling all the time for...
Yeah. I mean, the way we live now as 21st century Americans, that is definitely the truth.
Yeah. Well, like, everyone, though, through all time, life is a constant gamble, and we have become soft to the reality of it, and we've been able to distract ourselves from the immediacy of it through starvation or dehydration or anything else.
And we have the medical technology to push
extend
us
life
through disease and disaster in our bodies as best as we can.
But it's still so rudimentary. I mean, if you think 100 years ago, people were still dying from, you know, the flu.
AIDS.
Well, not AIDS. AIDS didn't exist till the 80s, but
100 years ago?
100 years ago, yeah. AIDS didn't exist till the, like...
19...
No, in the 80s.
Really?
Yeah, it was a disease that came about much more recently in human evolution. But
that's my extent of history, is the 80s.
The 80s, yeah.
It doesn't go past there besides, like, black and white pictures of, like, Marie Curie.
Well, yeah. She died, too. You know, radium poisoning. Because people just didn't know.
They didn't know.
Yeah.
And we don't know.
We still don't know.
So many things.
Yeah, so many things. And, you know, I am a little bit more morbid than you with all that. And that's definitely shaped the person who I've come to be. And so I appreciate your young...
youthful exuberance.
Yeah, your ignorance to the facts. And
I'm just trying to have fun.
Yeah, me too. We listened to Taylor Swift today, and, you know, I was tapping my finger. The Red Album, you know. Well,
shout out to my cousins.
Yeah, Maddie and Emily and Hope. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're never getting back together. But yeah, man. I mean, life is fucking weird. We didn't ask to be here, but yet here we are. And, you know, a lot of people, I don't remember if it was Pascal or someone else, but, you know, people who worry about what happens after death, you know, a good retort to that is, well, where were you before you were born? Isn't that even equally scarier? I mean, you think about the entirety of human history and the existence of the Earth, and you have not existed much longer than you have. And I think in terms of mathematics, you will always have not existed longer than you did. Well, I guess that's not true. You will eventually not exist as long as you did exist.
Yeah.
But in any case...
like trillions of years from now.
Yeah. But it's already... The Earth is 5.6 billion years old. And the observable universe is 13.4 billion years old. So, I mean, you know, suck on that.
But yeah, here we are, two weird humans in a weird point in time.
Together.
And
having
together,
fun.
And we're just enjoying ourselves and...
Yep, 100%.
living a good life, and what is there to worry about? Like, why not just enjoy it when you have it now? That's my perspective.
Yeah, well, I envy you.
Easier said than done, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. We'll talk in 10 years. We'll see how much you have that youthful exuberance when... I mean, you already have gray hairs. Talk about that.
I do. Yeah. Not a lot. No, it's like one single gray hair that I'm like, oh, what's that? That's pretty shiny in the bathroom mirror.
Yeah. I don't have any.
Well, yeah.
I just have thinning hair. But it's just interesting. The ravagings of aging. Yeah. No one is spared.
And especially, like, being in the sun as much as we are, and we're not, like, intentionally consuming those rays and that vitamin D.
But God, 7 Mile Bridge. Oh my God, we both got so burnt.
But we're subjecting ourselves to the position of being in nature all the time and experiencing that, and it's fun right now to see the tan lines and to see like where we got sunburn, where we can protect ourselves next time with cancerous causing sunscreen.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, we're all getting older every single day. You'll never live this day again, so make it the best.
Life is a race to the grave, and we all hope we come in last.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
But yeah,
it's
food
great.
for thought.
Food for thought. Who
But
knows?
not thoughts that will like disturb me in any way.
That's good.
I'll just continue living my life and remember this conversation a couple days, couple months, couple years down the road, and I'll just be like, oh yeah,
Oh.
whatever.
Oop, gunshot. Oh, fireworks.
My God. Fireworks.
Fire. That's life.
We got one.
We got one. They've got to do another.
Yeah.
That can't be a one and done, a one hit quit. Hit him
They
and
got a
forget
pack.
him. Yeah, for sure. Come on now.
But yeah,
You hungry?
I am.
Yeah.
We got those microwave dinners waiting for us because our Airbnb doesn't have a stove and we can't cook vegetables.
Nope. We can't
So
be
we
healthy.
have to microwave them instead.
It's amazing if you put your hand in front of this flame, how much better you can see.
Oh, yeah. We should blow it out.
Nah.
Save it
Save it for
for
what?
later down the trail.
Yeah, I guess it'd be
When we're
fun
in
to carry.
a mosquito invested.
Yeah.
What is it?
Infested. Yeah.
Infested campsite.
My
on the
bags.
Florida Trail.
Yeah.
We're going out on the Florida Trail soon.
Yep.
Y'all.
Going back out. My bags.
On bikes.
I have 2 pannier bags that are, I think yours are 18 liters, and
Yeah,
mine are 22. So rock on, 4 extra liters. I've got a big
They
sleeping
can
bag.
fill it with all your useless shit.
Oops. Yeah, I have a lot of luxury items.
6-ounce scissors.
Oh my! They were so heavy, and when I saw they were $10, and I was like, "Shit, I
Damn.
really don't want to buy $10 scissors." But
But you gotta cut those pews.
gotta cut those pews though, and these are sharp enough to give me another circumcision, so I got to be careful.
Lol.
They are professional grade Equate, Walmart distributed instruments of mass hairectomy. So got to be careful.
So yeah, might have some haircuts in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Might
Your
have-
haircut looks great, by the way.
It does look great. I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, for
Love my
what,
hair.
$28?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a good deal.
yeah. The hair cuttery in Okeechobee would
Recommend. Yeah,
for all those Pennsylvania
Yeah,
people who
exactly.
find themselves in Florida.
yeah. The haircutteress is from your land, your Commonwealth.
She was from what's the name?
Tannersville.
Williamstown.
It was south
Williamsburg.
of where you were, right?
Yeah, I forget what she exactly said, but
Yeah.
we had a nice chat,
Oh,
and I got my hairs cut short.
there's this
They're shorn.
India Ari song. We should listen to it soon. But it's all about
Hair?
No, well, she does have a song about hair.
Because you showed me that one.
Yeah, she has another song about old people and young people,
Mm.
and how young people should learn from old people.
Mm.
So I hope you learned something tonight. All
I'm
right,
not an old person.
me?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I feel like I'm younger than you, but I have a better conception of death than you. Yeah,
Ignorance is bliss.
Bills.
Bliss.
All right, y'all.
Think about this.
Think about it.
Think about it.
Bye.
But don't let it scare you.
No.
Because life is beautiful and amazing. And love is real. And
Aw.
happiness is real.
And we have
And
it.
you can find it.
Hand hug.
Just go out on the trail and you'll find it.
You will. The trail provides until it doesn't. Some people die of heart attacks. Pretty often. All right.
Alright.
Bye.
Bye.